Darkness is existence, light is just an excuse. The first and the worst of all frauds is to cheat oneself. All sin is easy after that. As we all know that darkness presents everywhere, but light is just an excuse to those people who are corrupted. The first and the worst of all frauds is to cheat himself, herself, or own self. After committing sin, though it is easy to commit sin, but the outcome might be horrible after that. Good morning to everybody. Today in our presentation on corruption, I would like to welcome you all here, and I would like to start. I would like to introduce our members. Ms. Priza Rana, Mr. Pushkaraj Joshi, Shishanga, and me myself. And our supporters are Mr. Sai Mahato, Mr. Dharma, and Prerana Chavara. Now let us know what corruption is. Corruption is the misuse of public power, property, position, power, and authority by the public servants for fulfilling their personal selfish purposes to gain personal satisfactions. It is an unfair use of public power for private advantages by breaking the rules and regulations made by government. It is like a cancer which is once generated, like a cancer which cannot be ended without medicine and cannot be ended with and spreading its root continuously. There are different types of corruption, and they are misuse of government property, extortion, nepotism, and bribery. Now let us know what is misuse of government properties. The use of powers by government properties for illegal private gain is known as misuse of government properties. It can be told as political corruption also. It is an illegal act which is occurred by some members of government which uses his or her powers in personal advantages. It is a serious problem in our day-to-day in our society. It can also impact on government provision of goods and services. It increases the cost of goods and services, which arise efficiency in loss. Now let us know about extortion. Extortion is the practice of extorting money or other property by the use of force or threats. It is commonly practiced by organized crime groups. It is distinguished by robbery. It also refers to the prediction racket who demands a payment for other parties. Now nepotism. Nepotism it refers for the favoring of relatives, friends, or some people. Some business forbid nepotism and disrupt it. It is also known as a favor for their relatives and their personal friends. It especially includes in business, politics, entertainment, sports, religion, and other activities also. Now, lastly, bribery. Bribery is an act of giving money, goods, or other forms of exchange for alternation of their behavior for the recipient for an alternation of their behavior. For example, if a motorist is caught speeding by a policeman, then he offers to the policeman a person money or a bottle of vodka, then to line him away. It is also known as the example of bribery. By this, it is practicing in our day-to-day lives for the for the personal gains, and it is increasing in our day-to-day lives also. Now to provide some more information about corruption, I'd like to welcome Mr. Disconnect.
Thank you very much for inviting me here to introduce more about corruption. Transparency International. As you all know, this is international non-government organization which was established in May 1993 to fight against corruption. Its main objective is to monitor the level of corruption in the international level, supervise political corruption, and publicize it. Peter Egin is the founder of International Transparency. Transparency International is the global civil organization to fight against corruption. It brings people together in a powerful worldwide coalition to end the devastating impact of corruption on men, women, and children around the world. Its mission is to create change towards a world free of corruption. It has been publishing corruption perception index since 1995 and bribe prayers index since 1999. Nepal is included in CPI since 2004 AD, and this is the CPI index of world. You can see here black, the most corrupted country as are in black color. You can see here Somalia, Afghanistan, and South Korea as most corrupted country ranked through 0 to 9. And the dark blue color are the least corrupted country. You can see Portugal, Denmark, New Zealand. And America, Canada, etc. are least corrupted country. Nepal corruption rank. Nepal is the third most corrupted country in South Asia. If Transparency International analyzed for the year 2016 is anything to go by. In the corruption perception index 2016 made public on Wednesday, Nepal secured 131st position in the list of 176 countries. Since 2004, in 2004 there were 148 countries included in CPI, but Nepal's rank was 19th. Then it was not more corrupted, but in 2011, Nepal, there were 183 countries included in CPI, but Nepal's rank was 154th position. It was not too good. And in present 2016, there were 179 countries, and the position of Nepal is 131st. It's all about the CPI and Nepal's rank in CPI. Now to give you more knowledge about solution, cause, effect of corruption, I'd like to invite our Ms. Lisa.
Thank you, Pushpa, for handling me this stage. Let's come on our topic. Here we have got the causes of corruption, political instability. As we know, the politicians are chosen by the citizens of the country, but nowadays it is not. The politicians are chosen by the government itself. Illiteracy. The people are not educated. They are not aware about the causes of corruption. Mass poverty. People are poor due to which they take corruption. Deep-rooted network of corruption. Our country is full of corruption due to deep-rooted network of corruption. Lack of responsibilities and nationality. Lack of awareness in people. Weakness in government. As we know, our government is very weak. So the corruption is increased day by day. Lack of transparency in the work environment. Lack of transparency in the work environment for the development is corruption. Increase in greed for money and so on. People want to show about how they do, how they perform. So due to this, they took corruption for the money and the so on. The intention of becoming rich in some time. The people want to become rich in the few short time. So these are the causes of corruption. Now let's move towards the effects of corruption. Here we have got the effects of corruption: lack of respect for the rulers, lack of faith and trust on the government, decrease in foreign investment, delay in growth in development, lack of development, decreases in trade ratios, high prices to consumers, reduced tax revenues, poor maintenance of public infrastructure, greater inequality and high incidence of poverty, great losses in business and trade. As we all know, corruption hinders the progress and development of the society. All corruption costs are paid by the consumer and the taxpayer. As we know, the market is increasing day by day. This is all due to corruption. Corruption reduces the tax revenues. Lack of development is also one of the effects of corruption. The citizens pay the taxes to the government, but the government does not develop the country. It is also corruption. Poor maintenance of infrastructure. The government takes our money as a tax for their own profit. It's corruption. Now let's move to the solutions of corruption. Strict rules and regulations should be made. The government is as we know, the government is very weak. So the government should make strict rules and regulations to fight against corruption. Education and awareness to people. That government should provide education and awareness to the people. Social boycott corrupted people. The government should provide the punishments for the people who take corruption. Effective monitoring and cross-checking in cases of corruption, coordinating and understanding among the law enforcement agencies, develop habit of complaining about corruption, books should be published on the topic of corruption, political stability should be made, the function of governmental and development work should be transparent. These are the solutions about how corruption can be managed or removed from our society. Our efforts are meant to restrict corruption and to protect the poor and weak in our societies as much as possible. They need protection services and opportunities. They need the response. That is the reason why corruption needs to be checked on time. By providing education and awareness to people, by developing the habit of complaining about corruption, by publishing various books on the topic of corruption, to political stability, etc. The good politicians should be selected for the country. Now we have got a short video for you, and you may look.
Thank you, Prisa, for calling me. I'm here to explain you about the thought, which is corruption is a true enemy of the development. Yes, it is a true enemy of the development. As you are Nepalese, you can see the condition of our country, that our Nepal is not developed country. There is a big question mark, but also there is many natural resources. You can see it. That is the simple answer, that you can say that because of corruption, the politician and the government are robbing the taxes of the citizenship, and there is the saying by the Prithvinarayan Shah that घुस लिने र दिने राज्यका शत्रु हुन्, यिनका जीव ज्यान लिया पनि पाप लागेको छैन. Yes, it is also the meaningful thought, and I want to say again the definition of the corruption, that corruption is the unfair use of the public property for some private advantages by breaking some rules and regulations. You can see that technology are also misusing in the corruption. As I want to give you the example of the present technology, that we all know that the people with the power exchange the kidney with the life with a simple innocent person. It is also called as the corruption. And Abraham Lincoln has also said that on $1 is more valuable than you got free. Now for the another slide, it is if we have money to corrupt people, also we have money to help people. It is also the important thought or slogans, and corruption is not only the solution for the livelihood. Coordination and understanding should be there in the people, and only the country will be developed. More understanding and cooperation increase the development. And for now, don't keep under the table except your shoes. this is a funny slogan. Don't here you can see that two people are exchanging the money with appointment, and on the table they are shaking hands for the appointment, and it looks like a child game. Adults should feel same place as playing like a child game. We should learn from the children to keep the shoes under the table. So adults should learn from the children. It is a kill corruption slogan, and there is a rope of the death penalty. For the death penalty, we know that death penalty is not a permanent solution for the corruption. In our constitution of the 2072, there has written no corruption, but it is not implemented the rules and regulation. From here also we write the solution, but we don't implement. I want to say to my teammates, thank you, and for you all to attending this presentation.